Super witches are still dominating in CWL, even in high-level clans. We just came off of a 44-star war. Majority of these attacks are being super witch attacks, and I want to show you guys some of the replays and help you guys understand how we are pulling off the super witches at a high level, even after all of the nerfs. By the way, as I get into this first replay, it's going to be from Vicious. I'm doing a final giveaway, I hope. I have a queen skin, one queen skin that I've given away 4 freaking times that people just haven't responded to when they win. I've hearted their comments, I've replied to their comments, I've liked them, I've added them in like a community post. They never respond. So finally, one last queen skin giveaway. There's just one. All you have to do to be entered to win is just like and comment on this post. Make sure you're subscribed too. I'm just going to pick it manually, and obviously I'm just going to pick somebody that is subscribed, so double check to make sure that. Anyway, let's go ahead and break down this base really quickly. This is definitely about as anti-Super Witch Fireball base as you can get. You can see on the outside of the base, the defenses are kind of spread out, and everything is kind of spread out. This is going to make funneling kind of hard, and it's also going to make getting a good fireball kind of hard. But let's go ahead and get into it. I just want to show you guys on a really what would be considered a more difficult base to use super witches on, that it can still be pulled off, and honestly kind of in dominant fashion too. Obviously the Eagle artillery here is probably the best fireball for kind of a super witch army. You could maybe argue the monolith as well, but not nearly as good, right? That's like the only good target you hit there. This also gets the expos. Let's go ahead and just watch this. You guys are going to see that he does kind of a longer warden charge in order to get a more decent fireball off. That way he doesn't have to expend as many spells and resources into the fireball. Really, time is the only resource that he's using here. And he is just going to fireball. Let's go ahead and times 2 it here while he does this. Just the expo. Gets the CC that way. Really not even a fantastic fireball, right? But he sets the funnel with the queen on the other side. She's going to go ahead and continue to set the counter funnel. And he's going to use his jump and some wall breakers and stuff to get everybody into the middle of the base here. And this, another thing that kind of makes this an anti-Super Witch base is the single Infernos, right? Those obviously are a little bit more scary to deal with than the multi-Infernos. The multi-Infernos just don't do enough DPS to out-DPS healers, but obviously a single Inferno can. So he puts his jump spell here. Fantastic Earthquake Boots. He's getting through the rest of the base, and you can see his Royal Champion is used to clean up the back end and stuff. Now you can see the single Infernos are placed on this base in a way where nothing can outrange them on the other side of the wall, which is another reason why this is kind of a harder base to deal with when you have Super Witches. But you can see he absolutely crushes this base still. Has all 4 heroes alive, right? Is the King still alive? Yeah, he is. King is still alive. And 2 of the 3 super witches, he still has a bunch of healers, and he even still had plenty of time if you look at the start time of this. So this is absolutely crushed. This is in Champion 2 for CWL, by the way. So these are going to be about as good a base as you can get. So honestly, nice hit, Vicious. That was pretty OP. All right, this is another base that you would consider to be a little bit more difficult, or they're catered to deal with super witches defensively, right? What I mean by that is you get the cores that are kind of clumped up, right? This area here, this area here, this area here. These areas are going to be a little bit harder to land a good fireball on. They're also meant to have troops kind of funnel around them, so they're dealt with last, so they're getting the most amount of damage. It would be kind of hard to fire these areas here, right? You have a lot of defenses around the outside that you'd have to deal with in order to get a fireball there. Let's go ahead and watch. One thing I really like about Tyro's attack is he doesn't have the 2 druids, but he takes the 2 extra healers, so he has 7 total, and he uses those with the queen to have like a queen charge going on the opposite side of the base, while at the same time having the super witches smash through the middle of the base. And you can see he decides to walk with his warden here a little bit so that he can get a better fireball off. But on this base, the queen charge healers, they end up kind of getting onto the P.E.K.K.A.s, so they don't work out quite, I think, how he would have hoped. But if you want the healers, if you do end up deciding to try this out, put your queen down first, and then the 2 healers, and then the siege barracks, because if you put the once the healers attach to something, they tend to stay on that one troop throughout the entire duration of the raid. So you can see a couple of heroes went the wrong way, or healers went the wrong way. But you can still see that they kind of joined forces together, and now he's just got extra healers that he can use with the army. The healers there kind of got wrecked, but in theory, it's kind of a cool plan. I'm kind of interested to try this out, honestly, and see if you can make something of that. Kind of a cool little idea there. But you can see he overgrowths the monolith so that he doesn't have to worry about that right now. The root riders are going to continue to open walls through the rest of the base. Those were in the CC, by the way. And this is honestly a pretty dominating attack too. You can see there's just not a whole lot left. other than that monolith, and he's got lots of troops, had plenty of time left. So people are still, even after all of the druid nerfs and everything, dominating even high-level clans with the super witches. They're just still so good, and it's honestly one of the easier attacks to learn. So definitely recommend this if you're having trouble tripling with bases. And I've got lots of videos on super witches too. All right, on a base like this, you guys are going to see Hammer does this exactly right. If you get a double rage base, your healers are not going to be able to out-heal the damage that is being done if you're dealing with both of the rage towers at the same time. So if you come from the left or if you come from the right, and both of these raged up towers are here and they're attacking your army that's either here or here from entering the base, a lot of your stuff's going to die. So either you have to deal with one of the rage towers with your fireball, or you have to fireball aside and then deal with the rage towers one at a time and go up or down from the base, right? So that's how you have to attack double rage bases with the Super Witch attack, because you'll get frozen up by the ice golems under the rage towers and you're just going to die. So you have to deal with the rage towers individually in order to 3-star this base with the Super Witch healer army. And that's exactly what he does. He just decides to take out one of the rage sections with a fireball. Normally the raged bases aren't going to be this free, so you kind of have to come from the bottom or the top. Because this is, I mean, a pretty easy fireball and an OP fireball. Like that was insane. So then he goes to the left. He decides to tackle the eagle side first and end on the town hall, which I think is the right choice here. That way the eagle's not just continuing to do damage the whole time. And sets the funnel really good early on with his siege barracks, and his queen puts a jump spell right in the middle of the base on top of that clan castle. Now you can see, since he dealt with that rage tower early on, he's frozen up with almost no damage on his troops. So his plan for this base was like exactly perfect how you'd want to do it. After he's done frozen up, or being frozen up, he's going to continue through the base here. There's a single inferno there, which is a little bit scary, but he handles that pretty well. Earthquake boots open the whole rest of the base. The royal champion comes in from the right side to help deal with the monolith, and this base is crushed too. So Super Witches, not only are they just 3-starring bases at a high level, but they're still dominating them. We even saw some Super Witch attacks at the World Championships too, so they're still very, very strong. You can absolutely go 320 in Legend League with them. I just did it the last video that I did the Super Witch army with, went 320, and honestly, there were a couple raids that were pretty close, but it felt like a pretty easy day for the most part. Super Witches are still OP. I don't know that I'll upload any Legend League hits with this army today. I might not be able to do the Legend League hits for a little while, and I want to upload this video a little bit earlier, so this might be a shorter video, but use the Super Witch army. I will link to the most common form of the army, but if you want to substitute a couple of druids for some healers and try that Queen Charge version, give that a try and let me know in the comments if it works for you. Anyway, that is going to do it for this video. I will see you guys next time.